Going to rest in seated posture. Spine mostly straight. Taking a moment to just let go of the activity that brought you to the seat right here. Let go of the future. The last breath is gone. The future breath has not arrived. There's just this breath right here, right now. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Yogena Chitasya Pradena Vacham Malam Shamirasya Javaikena Yogakartam Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Panjalanatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankar Chakrasidharinam Sahasrashnesam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Hari Om. Take out a mukha shvanasana, hands into the wall. So as you press the thumb and index finger, extend the other three fingers. As you extend the other three fingers, grip into the bone from the wrist to the shoulder blades. Keep that grip from the wrist to the shoulder blades, but release the grip of the shoulder blades by widening them away from the base of the neck. Rotate the thighs in and up so the sit bones open and also the back thighs and knees widen. So pressing into the wall, extending the other fingers, gripping in from wrist to shoulder blade without gripping the neck. Broad shoulder blades. Thighs rotating in and up to anchor, sit bones widening, back of the knee widening. And bend the knees and come down. Sit on your heels in vajrasana. Vajrasana. Big toes together, heels and ankles close, so your sit bones are on the heels. You're not sitting like inside the saddle of the ankles. And then take urdhva arms. Press down through the sit bones into the heels. Lift and broaden the back floating ribs from the tuck. Widen the shoulder blades, take the root of the arm deep into the socket, from the palm side especially. Release the base of the skull up. Interlock virassana hands. Repeat the previous instructions. Release to urdhva hands, urdhva namaskar palms if you can. And then odd finger interlock virassana. Skin of the buttock moving down, floating ribs lifting up and widening. Inner head of the humerus back, out deltoid armpit forward. Circularize the movement of the head of the humerus to ground it. Release the base of the skull up. And exhale, bring the arms down. Okay. Go back into downward dog. Don't use the wall this time with the hands. make the circle of the palm as big as possible. Extend the index finger out from the heel of the palm. Extend the pinky finger from the outer wrist. Grip from the outer wrist to the outer shoulder blades, the latissimus dorsi to be precise, without gripping the neck or throat. And bend the knees and come down, rest. Okay, we're going to take supta virassana next. This evening belt is actually going to go, so I extend my legs into dandasana, and I put the belt up behind just above my knees, and then I sit. Now you might be able to tighten it up, have whatever you need to lie back on you. So the belt is wrapped around just the knees tonight. Okay, you have seen, I do. Now you might not know how tight to make the belt until after you lie back. If it feels too loose, snug it up. If it's difficult, you can come up and loosen it up. Have enough room to extend the arms over your head. Broaden the toes, pressing the toenails into the floor, and lift the shins and knees off the ground a little bit. Tuck the buttock under as you lift the knees. And then extend from the outer head of the femur to the outer knee. Rolling the thighs, inner thighs come back toward the socket. So the outer leg goes toward the knee, the inner leg comes toward the socket. Extend the arms over the head. Turn the palms to face each other. Get that external rotation of the arms. Wide shoulder blades. Outer armpit deltoid rolls up. Inner head of the humerus descends. Release the neck and throat. So the back thigh widens and hits a little into the strap. The top thigh bone comes a little closer together. You can turn that actually into a circular action. And then gradually sit up out of the pose and go back into downward dog. Take your time, of course, take your time. Take off the strap. Back in adho mukha. Go near the wall, because we're going to go from down dog to full arm balance. You don't need to have the hands into the wall, but need to be near the wall. So take down dog first again. Okay, take a short break, rest the weight on the arms, and then kick up into full arm balance. If you can't kick up, you can do half full arm balance, put the feet into the wall. Swing and kick, swing and kick. The swing gives the momentum, but it's the kick that actually gets you up. Move the elbows toward the hands, not toward the center of the room. You shouldn't feel like you're pushing your armpit or your chest forward. Go straight up from the back body. That's it. Then in handstand, take the feet into Baddha Konasana at the wall. And then go back to extended legs. And then take the legs wide into an Upavishta in full arm balance. Press the heel, tuck the buttock up. You might not go that low, but that doesn't matter. Then back to full extended legs, and then come down into Uttanasana. Okay. Take your yoga chair. You can have it against the wall if you need to, but I'm going to show sideways here. So sitting with the bottom shoulder blade against the edge of the chair, and the body at a slight angle. Extend the trunk and arms up. Dome the head, find the chair. You can put a block on the chair. If you can go back without head support, that's fine, but most people need some sort of height on the base of the back of the skull. Virassana. Grounded firmly. Rotate the arms. Usually the elbows flare out to find the edge of the chair, so rotate the outer armpit forward, elbows in. Pull downward from the outer elbow into the socket. Dome the upper chest. Hands down the legs of the chair toward the seat, or lower if you can. Obviously, there's weight on your back, but have a sense of doming over the contact sensation, doming over the chair with the very upper part of your chest. Buttocks down into the floor, floating ribs lifting and widening from that grounding, and then dome over the chair. Okay, swing arms a little bit over, come out of the pose. Okay, then take pinchamayarasana, whatever variation you can do. I have to put my hands on the block facing because of my fun little wrist adaptation. You can do palms flat with the block and with the belt. Step to go. We're moving right along this evening, you might have noticed. Put the strap just below the elbow. If your palms are flat, extend from the inner elbow through the index finger wrist. Look up, but lift the chest and actually push the collarbones a little toward the center of the room as you lift up out of your armpit. Those of you who can balance, feel free to take the balance. Maybe you don't go up much anymore once you're up, but not sinking is also lifted, you know? And then it lift out of the armpit chest to come down out of the pose. So just drop. Rest. Okay, take virassana, back bend, support back arch and chair. I looked on the schedule, it said this is back bend week, so you've all been slouching around all weekend anyway, so. For a long bike ride. Okay. Dvipada viparita dandasana. And as beautiful as Iyengar methodology is, sometimes we overthink it, right? And biased to be. Good to move a little quickly at times. So, rotating the femurs in the ground as if you had a belt strapped around your hips to pull the pelvic rims in toward each other. So the sacrum widens internally as you ground the femur with the internal rotation. And the pelvic rims have a sense of pulling in toward each other. Then often we jump right from the pelvis to the upper chest, but don't do that. From the grounding of hips, extend the lumbar spine and side waist ribs. Then dome the chest out of the extension bar spine. So the shoulder blades are very sharply engaged, the inner back muscles to support doming of the front of the chest, upper body. And the more back bend you can do in T1 and T2, the more you can take the head back. One time Iyengar said, as if you were trying to see your tailbone. Your neck will know how far to go with that. The more you can dome, the more you can support taking the head back. And in exhale, bend the knees, bring the arms up, and come out of Viparita Dandasana. We'll take a Pada variation. So I can show that. I'm sure some of you are somewhat familiar with it. So I step through my chair with my left leg, and I drape my right knee over the chair. And I uncinch my belt. Okay? So instead of cinching my belt, I just pull it through and make a loop. All right? Can you see now? I'm just looping the belt around my right ball mound foot. Keep my pelvis. Now, if it's difficult for you to keep that left foot grounded, put bolster out foot. And then the right leg. You got to scooch pretty deep into the chair for this. And then you take the leg up and gradually extend the arms over the head. Adjusting your visual here. I'm sure any of you have pressed this. So wrap the belt around one of your palms and interlock your fingers so you don't have one hand above the other. And it's fine to press the back of the right thigh into that chair. Slide a little below the shoulder blade tips. Focus more on pulling out than down, but you can certainly bring the hands farther down if it feels right. From the grip of the neck, release that every time you go a little lower. Extend through the left leg, of course. Roll over the edge of the chair. Be careful not to press into the chair and collapse the sternum toward the thoracic spine. Slack off on the belt, bend the knee. Adjust your position, dome up. Okay. Then the belt goes, you step out. Get the right foot through, the left leg over the belt, loop the left foot. I gotta check and see. Oh, good, you're still there. Loop the belt around the hand, interlock the hands. Doming the chest. So first you pull out, lead down. Ground the femur, broaden the sacrum, extend the lumbar to feed the doming of the chest.